Greetings, warriors. My name is Pruitii, and welcome to another ASMR video. Today, we are going to be talking about your emotions and how they affect you. But before we begin, let's start with some grounding techniques. I want you to sit or stand or lay in a very comfortable position for you. I want you to focus on how your body feels from head to toe. Focus on the small feelings of your body. Can you feel the weight of your shirt on your shoulders? Can you feel your heart beating softly in your chest? Can you feel if your arms are loose or stiff or maybe even sore? Focus on all of the physical sensations of your body. Curl your fingers and wiggle your toes. How does that feel? Are you wearing socks or maybe shoes? How does that feel when you are moving them? Do you feel soft? Do you feel comfortable? Or is there something impeding your comfort? Maybe you feel your stomach aching because you haven't had food today. Make sure you get plenty of food and plenty of water. Okay? But just take some time and feel your body and feel if there's any discomfort. And also focus on the comfort. I know I love the feeling of a soft, fuzzy blanket curled around me. I love the warmth it produces and the weight it puts on my body. It's calming and wonderful. Now that your body is all relaxed and you are in touch with how your body feels, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, what emotions am I feeling right now? And if you can't tell, that's okay. I want you to visualize all of the emotions that you are feeling right now, whether it be good emotions, bad emotions, or lack of emotion at all. And I want you to visualize putting it in your hands as a nice little ball. Maybe the ball is swirling with colors, or maybe the ball is just empty and clear. But what's most important is letting them go, letting all of the emotion go, and letting peace and relaxation in. If letting go of your ball doesn't do it for you, maybe you're going through some intense emotions right now, that's okay. Try picking up the ball, visualizing, and throwing it away. Maybe you need to visualize running away from it, or throwing it into an ocean. Visualize what you need to of taking your emotion ball and getting it away from you and allowing peace and relaxation to come in and fill your body. Finally, now that our bodies and our emotions are relaxed, I want you to mentally think of maybe 4 or 5 things that bring you joy and bring you peace. Maybe, like me, it's a fuzzy blanket that brings you joy and peace. Or maybe it's a favorite snack or a favorite activity. But I want you to think about 4 or 5 of these things in your life that bring you joy and peace. Visualize them briefly or describe them if you do not have a very vivid mental image. But welcome in that peace and that calm. And let's take a big breath together as our bodies and our emotions have relaxed. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. And hopefully by this point, you feel calm, relaxed, and comfortable. Because today, I want to talk to you about emotions and how we should understand them and appreciate all walks of emotions. It's hard when you are in the moment feeling something so intense. There are times when you can't describe it. There are times that it overwhelms you and it brings you down. But I want you to know that all emotions are healthy. Every single emotion that you feel is healthy. That is part of how our body and our minds function. What isn't healthy is, well, the actions that come from certain emotions. For example, you can't go to jail for being angry. You can go to jail by doing something from your anger. And we as humans have the ability to control what our actions do from our emotions. But it's hard to do that if you don't understand them and feel comfortable with them. Our emotions can get out of hand and be complex and hard to understand. But you have the tools that you can use to understand them. Let me list a couple of things that you should not do before we get into what you should do, okay? Because I even have problems with these. So I can only imagine that you too probably share some of these problems. First off, don't judge your emotions. As I said earlier, they are healthy. And by judging our emotions, we create a sense of uncomfortableness and spiraling with judging the emotions, digging deeper and increasing their intensity and duration. Things to say about our emotions that we shouldn't do is that we're weak if we feel sad or discouraged, or that we're broken because we get too anxious or worry. It feels like a sin for getting angry at somebody. Those thoughts are completely meaningless to you. You can feel uncomfortable by some of your emotions. You can feel the pain from emotions. You can even dislike some of your emotions. But judging your emotions is not healthy and will increase all of the negative feelings with any emotion. Next, our brains tend to, lie to us about reality sometimes. For example, say you're at work or at school and someone makes a rude comment to you about maybe a meeting or group project. Most of the time, our mind's first thought is, great, now everyone thinks I'm an idiot. When, in fact, they could be going through their own intense emotions that they were expressing in a very poor way. And focusing on that aspect of letting your mind dive deeper and deeper and deeper into these thoughts, you allow your mind to say, it's okay to think about all of these things a little too much. Overanalyzing anything with your emotions is not meaningful and can lead to some very harsh lies that could affect how you perceive your emotions. It's good to think about your emotions, but it's not good to constantly overthink and allow yourself to fall into the lies that our brains like to make up. You deserve to question yourself. You deserve to reflect and be mindful. But you do not deserve allowing yourself to dive in and spiral into these awful, lie-filled thoughts. On top of, our brains coming up with lies and judging, emotions are hard to understand. Majority of us think, oh, this is happiness. This one certain aspect of life is happiness. Or this one certain path is anger. But we as humans have such complex and deep emotions that simplifying them like that makes it hard to understand them. The best way to understand emotions is, talking about them. If you can't express honestly and openly what you are feeling, everything might be more intense and harder to understand. Maybe you got sad. Something in your life made you sad, and you can't express it. You're going to continue and wallow in that sadness because you cannot let it go and state as a fact that you are sad. It's healthy to talk about your emotions and find someone that you can trust to talk to them about. Some key things to remember when you are expressing your emotions is you should be clear about you want to express these feelings. Say, I am working on expressing my emotions. I don't know how yet, but I want to. I want you to also acknowledge that sharing your feelings is a form of intimacy. So you should begin with somebody that you really wholeheartedly trust. Be it a life partner, be it a parent, a therapist, someone that you wholeheartedly trust, and allow yourself that level of emotional intimacy. I want you to also start small. A lot of our emotions can be overwhelming, especially when we aren't given the tools that we need to understand them and appreciate them and grow comfortable with them. But starting small is the perfect way to start, because as you start small, you can grow your skills until you're able to handle the more complicated emotions. And finally, I want you to remember, keeping your feelings suppressed is harmful, just as harmful as judging and lying to yourself about the reality of your emotions. You deserve the space and time to feel your emotions and grow comfortable with them. Let's take a deep breath together. Ready? Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. So I talked about, what not to do when it comes to your emotions. And now I want to talk about what you should do to understand your emotions and fully embrace all of your thoughts and feelings so that you can question yourself and grow comfortable with expressing them. There are 4 steps to do when you are feeling something that I want you to start incorporating into your everyday life. The first step is, what am I feeling? Ask yourself, what are you feeling? Okay, fine, and good are not emotions. They are states of being, but I want you to know what you are feeling. I want you to take a moment and sit with yourself and see what you're feeling. See what comes up, and without judgment, observe it. No matter what you are feeling, your emotions are not good or bad. They exist, and that's what they are. In this moment, I don't want you to allow any commentary to come in. All I want to know, and want you to know, is what you are feeling. Ask yourself, what feelings am I aware of having? You might be feeling multiple at once, and that's okay. Ask yourself, what's the most prominent feeling? Push yourself against the answers of states of being, of fine or okay. If you have those, ask, what does fine mean? Does fine mean I don't have strong emotions? Does fine mean I am so overwhelmed with something that I can't describe it? Push past that. And finally, when you get to an emotion, when did I become aware of this feeling? Did I maybe feel it 30 minutes ago, but I couldn't properly put a word to it? Or maybe you just realized it now. It's daunting when you first hear these things, because it seems bizarre to sit down with yourself and ask, what am I feeling? But I know that you can do it. It's a skill that will take a lot of applying and a lot of work to do. And you can do it. The next time you feel something, I want you to pause and ask yourself, what are you feeling? And identify the feeling that is in your heart. The next thing I want you to do is ask yourself, where do I feel this emotion? A lot of our emotions can manifest in physical sensations. It's difficult to notice because most of the time we don't pause and allow ourselves time to think about our emotion. In these moments, I want you to pause and feel your body like how we did earlier. What tension or tightness do you feel in your body? Do you feel a lump in your throat? Well, that could mean you're sad. Do you notice that you're clenching your fist? Could mean you're stressed or angry. Our bodies can exude emotions in physical forms, and everyone has their own unique way of displaying it. I know when I get anxious, my heart beats out of my chest. I know when I get happy, I have a giant grin on my face. But I want you to take a moment and ask, where do I feel? Do I feel maybe tension in my head? Or maybe my toes are curled. I didn't think of that before. And I want you to let your body try to describe what you feel. And if it's hard to do so, that's okay. It's kind of bizarre to associate physical feelings with our emotions. If you can't notice any, well, think about just, how do I describe it? Like a feeling of coldness. Does anywhere feel cold? Does anywhere feel warm? That could be another indicator of your emotions. Taking it small steps at a time can really help you understand and be in tune with your emotions. Like an example for me. When I am anxious, as I mentioned earlier, my heart begins to thump. And faster it goes. And sometimes I can even feel like my legs and my hands are frozen. And that's saying something because my hands are usually very active. So practice this. Whenever you realize you are feeling something, ask yourself, where do I feel it? Next, now that you know what the emotion is and where you are feeling it, I want you to ask, why am I feeling it? It doesn't matter what the reason is. It could be something small, like I woke up and I fell out of the bed and that made me angry. Or it could be something grandiose, like I got laid off from a job and that was the trigger for my emotions. It does not matter how big or how small the why is. What matters is that there is a why. I want you to pay attention to what makes you feel certain things. For example, maybe you woke up and you told yourself that today is gonna be an awful day. And now you're partway through the day and you feel hopeless because you feel like today was just gonna be awful. And that's okay. It's also okay if you can't figure it out. Maybe it's not even something you are conscious of. Maybe it's something that welled up within you and has no reason. What's most important is that you realize it. No matter what it is, whatever spurred this emotion, doesn't change the fact that what you are feeling is valid and relevant. Just remember, this is kind of a part where we tend to judge ourselves about our feelings. Do not judge about what you are feeling and what caused your feeling, okay? If you're having a hard time with figuring out the why, ask yourself, what might be triggering this feeling? Did something in life happen that I wasn't really thinking about that affected me? Or maybe, what's happening in my life or not happening in my life? Deconstruct what is going on around you. Maybe events, thoughts, dreams, or things that you have no control over, that you just didn't pay attention to because you're not in charge of them. Maybe after all of this, you don't know how you feel. You don't know what caused it. That's okay. But I want you to continue asking yourself these questions. Asking things like, is my home life okay? Did I get into a fight with somebody recently? How are things going on with work or school? Asking these questions in these moments when you are feeling these feelings helps you understand them and grow more comfortable with them. So acknowledge what caused these feelings and why they make you feel these things. Because doing so will make you feel more comfortable with all of your feelings. And finally, the last thing I want you to ask yourself when you are trying to focus on your feelings is, what do I need? What do I need? This is not what will make me happy, what will make me unfeel. Our emotions can tell us things that we need. Maybe you're feeling lonely. Maybe that loneliness stemmed from your friends being out of town. Your emotions are telling you that you want to be around people. So go find someone to be around, even if it's something like chatting over the internet or something. But I want you to recognize that your emotions signal things for yourself. One of the things you can do if you're struggling to understand what you need is listening to things like this. Listening to things that'll guide you to understanding. Listening to things that talk about emotion so that you can understand it and recognize it in yourself. It's all dependent on what you are feeling and how you communicate with yourself. You have to let yourself feel these difficult feelings to really address them, to really understand them. Too often we look for shortcuts and distractions and people to detach our emotions. But we are the only ones who can control our emotions and acknowledge what we feel. these 4 steps are something that will take time, but I know that you can do it. I know you can ask yourself, what am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? Why am I feeling it? And what do I need? Those 4 questions, free of the judgment that we impose on ourselves, free from the overanalyzing and diving deep into extraneous information, can help us understand and become comfortable with these emotions. So, let's take a big breath. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. So, I want to finish this video and, go through an example of how to identify your feelings and start being more comfortable with them. Me, what am I feeling today? I am feeling comfortable. I am feeling comfortable. I feel it in my chest. It feels warm. It feels warm. I am feeling it. Because I've been recording this. I've been recording something that is very calming and very comfortable for me. And now, what do I need? Now that I'm comfortable, I can tackle some things that I know stress me out because I am comfortable going into the task that I need to do. Now, I will ask you these questions and give you some time to answer them yourself. Ready? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? Where are you feeling it? Why are you feeling it? Why are you feeling it? What do you need? What do you need? Thank you for sitting with me on this journey of understanding your emotions. I am so proud of you for wanting to learn and understand your emotions. We all deserve that understanding so that we can better know ourselves and know what we are feeling. I want you for the next couple of days to take some time and ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself and understand your emotions. Practice makes perfect. And if you ever have a hard time, come back here and I will guide you through understanding your emotions. Thank you for joining me, and I want you to know that you are wonderful and I am so proud of you. Keep fighting your battles, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.